My guest today is gifted. His voice is velvety, smooth, and whenever I hear him sing, I smile. I was first introduced to him as a member of the Compliments, who also performed with my friend Toby Nwigwe. I'm so honored to have him on the Hybrid Soul today. Welcome to the show, David Michael Wyatt. How are you?
Man, I'm fantastic. How are you? First of
I'm
all, thank you.
good.
Thank you
Look,
for
we
having me.
did it. We did it. You know, I love that. I've been working hard to get you on the show so I can have this certain person who is your father, like say, I got him on the show.
Yes.
I was so honored to know that your father watches my show and
Yeah.
had to pitch him to you. And I had to say, you don't have to pitch David Michael Wyatt to me. I know who he is and I want to discover more about him. You have
Man.
one of those names, you have to say all of it at all of
Yeah,
it.
that's
David
that's what
Michael
people
Wyatt.
tell me. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say, and I just be like, you know what? Okay, that's what my mom and daddy said, and that's what it
Yes.
is.
Yes, I started off and say that you are gifted, which you are. Um my question, because I see you everywhere. And if you had to have three words to describe this moment, what would they be?
Whoa, to describe the moment of where I am right now, like
Yes.
in my
Yeah, in
career.
your life and career.
Oh man, my three words would be God is amazing.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
God
Yeah.
is amazing, man. Yeah, he's been faithful and he's kept his promise to me on so many levels and just from the prayers of my mother on down just has been I've seen the fruit and I'm seeing the fruit and just watching it explode and expand in my life is incredible.
That is so amazing. Uh, I want to discover more about you, and let's start from the beginning. You are a Texas boy from
Yes,
Texarkana, Texas.
100%. Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, when I listen to your voice, I know that you started in the church
100%.
because God is amazing. Let's start when you started singing. Um, your voice becoming a singer, like, was when did you know from the church, like, this is what I want to do for my life as far as the singing?
Man, so I tell people the whole story in a short amount of time. So I've been singing, of course, since I was a little boy. I did start in church. My first solo, of course, outside of church, I remember it was at my preschool graduation and just singing on the swings. From what I understand, now, of course, this story was told to me because I don't remember it like this, but my mom was saying that my teacher put a note in my backpack because I was singing on the swings, and she was like, "He can really sing." That landed me a gig, is what they call it at the preschool graduation. I sang "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston, and from then it just kind of it just kind of started spreading and growing and stuff like that. But the reality and the truth is I didn't fall in love with my voice until I was probably 18 years old.
Wow.
So it was just uh it was different. It was different. I had a high timbre, I had a high range for a black broad-shouldered boy, that just wasn't as accepted, you know what I'm saying? At
Mhm.
least at least I thought, I'm sure that it was probably more complimented than I thought. But yeah, so I think just growing into it and falling in love with it at 18 is where it kind of started popping off for me. Not necessarily at 18, but just me started kind of honing and learning the craft, the gift, and all that kind of stuff, and really just falling in love with it.
And when I listen to your music, I want to talk about the Velvet covers. I said, he hears different. He hears different. You have to, because you know when you did the cover at your best,
hmm
uh people, the Isley Brothers or Aaliyah, you heard it differently. Did you realize like how big that took off on social media? Did you know that it was going to do that?
Had no idea. And this is the crazy thing about it. Like as a singer, and I'm sure you know this too. Like we get in there, we'll sing, we'll do all these things, and we'll be like, all right, nope, let me do it again. Let me run it back. Let me try it again. Let me do it this way. No, no, I sang that wrong. Start it over, start from the top. Let's record one more time. All those type things. That particular song, I did one time.
Wow.
One time, and I did not. I really didn't think that it was gonna be that. And that just reminded me, like, because now you got me in my head. I started thinking about how growing up in my career and how I was talking about my voice, like people told me, stop singing falsetto. Hey, stop doing that. Like, don't do that. Don't nobody want to hear that. I had a manager that actually told me that at one time, and she was like, "Hey, nobody really wants to hear that. You should probably stop doing that." So I started trying to go another way with my voice and all that kind of stuff. To see that come full circle with that moment with the Isley Brothers song, it was crazy. It was crazy for me.
And it's still amazing. Like
Yeah.
when I hear your voice, I say velvety, but it's timeless. When I
Wow.
think of the falsetto singers, I'm curious to know who are some of your musical influences?
Yeah, so one of my favorite, hands down, male singers, his name is Daryl Coley.
Mm.
That is one of my favorites. But then also, I love like the Smokey Robinsons. Once I started hearing how they were doing, how they were singing and crooning and all this kind of stuff, I just kind of fell in love with the Smokey Robinson, even El DeBarge, and just listening to these people. But I also love like the Luthers, and the Stevie Wonders, and
Mhm.
the list goes on. For me, I just kind of find inspiration from a lot of different artists. But as far as singers and stuff like that, those are some of my favorite male vocalists.
I love that. I love that. I'm curious. So you travel all around the world doing your music, and we're in the compliments, and you're doing these amazing things with Toby.
Hmm.
And when we see you, we always hear your voice. What's been a favorite moment to date, traveling with this ensemble that you've experienced?
Man, oh wow, that's a great question. One of the greatest moments to date. Man, we have so many moments.
I
We
know,
have so many moments.
I
Tobe is my
know.
brother. He's like family to me. So anytime that we can tour together. Anytime that he allows me to come in, be in his space and share his spotlight with me, it's always magical to me. And I feel like
Yeah,
together we create really, really dope moments. And I think that's just a relationship thing, of course, but also just a trust thing. Like I've been around him long enough. I know him, he knows me, so
yeah.
he trusts me to kind of just do me. But I think to date, man,
That's what you hear me. I said to date because it's
right. I think it would
you
have to
all.
be it would have to be probably the I think the newest one we did a collab with Montclair. We did a collab with Montclair, and I was able to be the featured voice. I didn't get to do the Rockefeller concert, but I was able to be the featured voice for the soundtrack of that rollout, which was amazing.
Wow. How
Yeah.
did you all meet? I know you guys are both from Texas, but how did you all meet and decide to work together and tour all over the world?
Yeah, so when I met Tobe, he wasn't doing music, but I met him through my wife. My wife knew him before I did, so she introduced us, um, and we just kind of clicked, and it just
Mm.
kind of grew. Once he started doing music, he was like, "Dave, I need you to come sing this. I need you to come do this," and it just kind of snowballed into where it is now.
When I see you guys on stage, I feel like it's church. Like
Yeah,
it's a big fellowship with family.
yeah,
Um, I want to ask again the Montclair, but on stage, what is that feeling? I get goosebumps, and I'm not even on the mic. What
yeah.
is that feeling when you guys are on stage and you're singing and all? They're singing word by word with you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's that. I think it's just the energy in the room, people connecting with the stories, people connecting with the lyrics, and us being the body that makes up the concert, being able to connect together, creates just a very powerful place and a powerful moment in those spaces. And then at the end of the day, I think God just kind of puts his stamp of approval on it, and it just turns into what it turns into. Yeah,
Yeah, I,
yeah,
I I love that. Um, when I speak, you as just an artist, you're a singer, songwriter, definitely an arranger,
hmm,
working with a lot of different people. When do you have time just to focus on your music? And because you come from the church and you work with Toby, like, what is your music?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's no genre, in my opinion. But when do you
Hmm.
find time?
Man, so that's a good question, a very good question. And honestly, that's part of the reason why it's taking so long for me to sit down with you because I'm like, what we gonna talk about? But now we do have stuff to talk about. So now I am in the process of working on my own music. And what I think it sounds like, I think it's I don't know how to categorize it.
Yeah.
We'll just have to let the people kind of decide what it sounds like and feels to them. For me as an artist, my biggest thing is feel. Like if I can feel it, then I can get it over to you to feel it. And
Mhm.
it's the same thing even with covers. I'm very particular about the covers that I sing. I'm not just going to sing anything. I need to be able to ingest the song so that I can get it over to you. So that's how it will be with my music. It will be
Yeah.
something that I've lived, walked through, or can relate to in a very heavy way so that I can be able to deliver it.
As being an independent is challenging.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. Um, I'm sure you've had the opportunity if you wanted to go sign with a major label.
Mhm.
What has kept you centered and focused to stay your course?
Woo. Um, I guess just talking to people,
Mhm.
and knowing the truth about what it is and what it's like out there. Um, and I've just been blessed enough, to kind of make a way and a path, not necessarily for myself, but just being connected with people to be able to create a path that it's not a necessity. Now, would it be beautiful if I had the right situation that just took me to the next level? Yes. It would be absolutely incredible if that was the case. But I know how it works. You sign these papers, you get in these deals, you get in these contracts, and you find yourself so many stories we've heard, we all know. And I hadn't been in a rush to be that person,
Yeah.
and I don't think I'm thirsty enough to be that person. There has been situations and stuff that people have approached and stuff like that, but those situations didn't serve me well. They didn't serve my family well. So it was kind of like, yeah, we go pass.
Yeah, wow. I was just thinking when you're talking, smiling. I'm looking forward to more music from you.
Thank you.
Um, as a songwriter, what's that process for you now? Because you have a lot of experiences just with the people that you've worked with. I'm curious to know that moment with Babyface. Did you get any advice? Get any gems from him?
Yeah, yeah. So it was very personable. He invited me into his personal space to be able to kind of talk and collab. I definitely learned a lot from him. I can't say a lot, but I learned he dropped gems,
Yeah.
which I think were priceless. That's what I'll say. He dropped priceless gems, and he encouraged me on the way that I'm doing things, even in the way of covers. He talked about how the greats and all these people that we know and look up to, this was kind of the same way and same path that they kind of journeyed, so he was very encouraging in that aspect, and he offered his help whenever he has time, as Babyface. So it's like, all right, Babyface, when I'm
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
so all of that. But yeah, so he just spoke to, he was like, basically what he told me, even to your question, live the song, sing the song. So that's kind of the space that I try to live in. Like that, it goes back to me singing things that I feel like I have either lived or can relate to in a very heavy way.
How did the collab on, is it Count on Me? You all
Hmm.
did the song that Whitney Houston and CeCe Winans did for the Dating
Yes.
Excel soundtrack. How did that come about?
So he hit us up. What's crazy? He hit us up, and I told my wife, I said, make sure that's not spam. So
Right, right.
he hit us up. We jumped on a FaceTime. He told me the idea that he had, and I was all in because it really did just fit with where I was at, who I am as an artist, and a person, father, husband, all the things. And we wanted to do something at that time that kind of spoke to at that time it was the LA fires and all that kind of stuff that was going on. So we wanted to sing something and give people some type of something to kind of latch on to. And it's just kind of snowballed and spread into so many different areas in our lives now because something is always going on in the world. So it just kind of relates all across the board.
I love I love the whole movement with just your whole community. When I see you on social media, when I see the comments from different people, I love how you love your family, you love your wife, and I love the people around you. Toby and Fat, you sang at the wedding of the year, Latarius and
Yeah.
Ashley.
Ashley. Yeah.
Ashley, um, how you started that way,
Hmm.
started in with family and community. How do you keep on that lane? Like how do you keep that focus?
Man, a lot of that, honestly, if I'm completely honest, God bless me with a good wife. Like she
Okay.
keeps me, she really keeps me grounded.
Yeah,
Exactly. She keeps me grounded. She keeps me focused. She keeps me challenged. With just how she handles me, how she the things that she even see for me that I don't necessarily always see for myself, and how she nourishes those things in me, and it just kind of works, so it is easier for me to, as long as I can keep her close, it's easier for me to kind of stay grounded.
I love that. I love that. When I see these moments, you have a lot of moments and experiences. Um, my question is, who has given you the best advice navigating in this game?
um so two people, I'm gonna say two people. One of them is my wife. She always told me, anytime I would leave the house or go into something, she would always say to me, "You belong in the room."
Mm,
She would say that to me every time. So that just kind of has become my subconscious. So now when I walk in these spaces, stand on these stages, I'm gonna be David Michael Wyatt.
yeah.
The second person is, he's a gospel artist. His name is Brian Courtney Wilson, and he told me, he said, just always show up. And what that means is David Michael Wyatt, always show up. Be who you are. Be who God has called you to be in every space, in every place. Show up that way. Always be present that way. So those two things, man, I just try to hold dear to my heart and live them, So when I walk in these spaces with all these different people, beliefs, cultures, all the different things, I can still be myself.
I love that. When you aren't on stage and you're sitting back listening to music, who are you listening to and what type of music are you listening to?
Oh, jeez, that's a good question. That's a good question, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. I don't listen to a ton of
Uh-huh.
music. I'm a podcast type guy these days.
Okay.
Um, but if I'm listening to music, apart from gospel music, I love gospel music, of course. Um, just the genre period. I really do love gospel music. But if I'm listening to, I listen to R&B, of course, my old heads, the classics, the Stevies, the
Yeah.
Dunnies, Usher. I like Chris Brown, and some of the newer cats. I like Giveon. Who else? Somebody's a Kenyon Dixon is a friend of mine. He's
Yes.
an incredible R&B artist. Kevin
Yes.
Ross, I went to school with him. These are
Yes.
people that, like I really like
Bangers.
and admire.
Kevin
Yeah.
Ross.
Oh,
Woo.
he's amazing, bro. Always been amazing.
Woo.
Always been amazing. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
We would
Whoa.
look at Kevin in school and be like, you know what? He gonna be somebody.
Okay.
Gonna be somebody.
Oh my goodness. But you're in there. I'm sure they said he gonna be somebody too. When I'm so excited when we're putting this music together for you, David Michael Wyatt. Who's your ultimate, who would you love to do another duet? I know, look, you could say I did it, Babyface, but who's someone else?
Yeah.
Who are some people that you would love to sing or work with in the future making your music?
Oh man. I would love to work with the likes of like a John Legend.
Yeah.
If most people don't know, I love hands down Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah.
Like he is one of the I don't know if I should say classy, but like he is just a very intelligent singer.
Hmm.
And the way that he tells stories with his tone and voice inflections is absolutely incredible to me. Um, but Leslie Odom, India Ari, I love India. Um, Man, it's a lot of people that I would love to like just kind of do duet series with. That might be a thing. We might need to do that.
See? Okay. I can hear it. I hear it. Um, and I think one of my final questions is to you: when people hear your music, what is it that you want to connect with them when you're singing and giving
Oh,
your delivery?
man, that's good. My ultimate goal is past my voice. Um, I want to provide a space and a place, or curate a space and a place for people to come in and number one, see themselves. Number two, leave out of the room and have experienced some type of healing, some space of peace, some place, or just in that moment in the show, whatever it is in the song, just to be able to breathe. Whether you are doing it just for real or if you're just needing a moment to just breathe mentally.
Right.
And I want to be able to be a solution for that. So when people come to my shows, I want them to feel peace. I want them to feel healed. I want them to just allow my voice, my songs, my lyrics, these things to wash over who they are.
I love that. I love that. I thank you for giving us the velvet colors, covers, the velvet covers,
Thank you.
and just being able to connect with you on social media and on stages all over the world. I look
Absolutely.
forward to you coming back when the album comes out. Look,
Yes.
no pressure at all
Yes.
because you
Yes.
keep on delivering. You keep
Yes.
delivering this beautiful music. I thank you for your gift. I thank God for bringing you here for to give us your gift. Toby for introducing me to you.
Yes.
And I'll just look forward to more. I look forward to meeting your family.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
in the
Thank
near
you. Listen,
future.
and thank you because you have been kind since day one. Since the day I met you, you have been consistent. You have been just always in my corner, and that I appreciate 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to thank you once again, David Michael Wyatt. Please follow him. Please support him. Check out his music because he different. He different. You're the Hybrid Soul with Kelly Kinkaid, your destination for music and culture discovery. Until next time.